Man, it's trying hard to get the trees in the shot. It's like we got 40 mile winds. I was trying to get that tree behind me in the shot, and I can't really get it in the shot. Yeah, it's not showing as much, a little bit, but it's like 30. And normally I won't wear a hat. I was gonna pick up my dry cleaning, and I'm like, fuck, I'll be out that way tomorrow. So I'm about to go back in the crib. Had to do a little counseling earlier. That's why I didn't come on normal time doing counseling, helping a friend. So, and we talked for about an hour or so. So when we got done talking, it was 5 till. Hey, Ricky Smooth, what is happening? And so, I guess I should introduce myself. This is Big Pontiac, Responsible Dad's Hour. I put Daddy. Um, but I was trying to get this wind. Like I've already picked up my daughter and dropped both of them off. Just because again, I'm looking at the neighbor coming in, her hair is all blowing. I mean, it's 30, 40 mile hour winds. Then we're supposed to get a storm on Monday evening, supposed to get a foot of snow. And I guess Michigan, my brother rode last night, they got 7 inches, 7 more inches on top of what they have. The problem, like in this drive, the problem we have is ice. Like even at my daughter's house, they have a spot where she's like, well, the ice messes up with my bricks and shit. I'm like, yeah, but if you bust your ass on that ice. Hey, Alchemist, what's happening? Hey, ZZ, what's happening? I see you got your Eagles gear on. Well, I read the card last night. Last night they said the day was green, so I figured this would be a great day to wear it. I still got to get the spray, like even my other coats. I still got to get the spray and spray this stuff with the 3M kind of protection for the white. These freaking salty cars, you rub up against, especially when I go in the garage, I'll be rubbing up against that shit. So that's why I bust this gear out. I've been an Eagle fan since 5th grade, had to be 71. Went to my first pro football game, I think. No, well, actually, I went to my first pro football game when I was 2 years old in the LA Coliseum. I saw Jim Brown play and Deacon Jones and probably Rosie Greer. But I only have vague memories of the stands. Of course, I wasn't old enough to really know. But I was at a game where Jim Brown played. And somewhere that's a type of imprinting in a way, being exposed to that so young. But man, these winds are crazy. Like when I dropped my daughter off at her I dropped the other young lady off first, and it was like a tree like across the street. And I mean, this shit was like, and then I had to move the trash cans. Like now it's a trash can in the middle of the street because the winds, because this is trash day for some people, the winds are so hard. Hey, Gray, what's happening? What's happening? So this is what was amazing. And I guess today, if there was any topic, it's like compassion for people. That's another thing of being a father is you have to show compassion. I'll say something, and this people younger than me could probably relate. It was like when I was younger, as I said, I liked to fight. Really the only thing that changed me from really liking to fight was when I became a cop, and that was 29, 30. Up to that point, from 20 on, really 18 on, it was like I ain't backing from nobody, fought all the time. But like my older sons say I was stricter on them. But the thing but you have to understand, when you're younger, you tend to be short-tempered. And I was very short-tempered. Can't stop my nose from running. Oh, okay. That's how I was. Shit, that's how I was Monday. You look at my show, I'm every other word. But as we're younger parents, as we're younger fathers, and it goes to be a lot of being a father. Like I say, like I told the story about me whooping my son. My son not understand from his perspective. He wasn't quiet, and I whooped his ass. But from my perspective, I done worked 16 hours. I'm gonna get about 4 hours of sleep, and I got to go back and work another 8 to 16. So he doesn't see that perspective. He only sees his perspective. And it was like, I need to sleep. And that's what he doesn't understand. But fathers have so much stress, especially as we're younger fathers. And, we're trying to get it, that we tend to be more, I know in my case, I was more hot-headed and my temper was like, I would go pick my 26, soon to be 27-year-old son up, and I'm like, you got me in this school, embarrassing me, calling me, it just where my younger boys, it was so often where it was like, not again, mug. It was like I'm not going off on it because it was like so common for my younger sons, especially my youngest. It was so common where, it's like, get your ass in the car. And so be aware of that. Be aware of that. Like, you're going to be a little more short-tempered as you're younger because of the stresses of being a young person. So I'm a Cancer. Cancer, and my name is Pontiac. I love everything and I love everybody. Float, float on. Float with me, baby. What do you say? I don't care about those stars in the sky. I only care about the stars in your eyes. I don't need a second look. You're what's happening in my book. I ain't going by those stars. That's that dramatics. Oh, I'm just breaking down that dramatics. And Dewan B was talking about the killing of love music. High vibrational music. You have one type of music that it has a purpose. It can raise your vibration, but the way it's used now is trying to lower your vibration. But when it first came in, it was like that happy hippity hop party kind of energy. That's how it was used. But it was used to kill R&B. Prince and Michael Jackson's. Now, Michael Jackson was so famous, but you still saw the outcome. Whereas people, he had the scandals and shit, but you see an album like Break of Dawn. I mean, that album that he made, the production, Butterflies, I talked about that all. I mean, the production level, and that is just the purest you get of mature Mike. And the same with Prince, the hip hop was pushed, and like the love songs, it's very few love songs. Cancer is crazy. They would kill you. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Most cancers is out the shell or in the shell. Hey, Lorenzo, thank you. Fresh Friday, indeed, baby. Indeed. And I've wore this on here before. But like, it's not that cold, but that wind is a motherfucker. That wind is a motherfucker today. But yeah, I mean, you have to look at like how they wanted to kill the vibration even in music. And when you hear like we have two stations here, 89.9, that plays a little bit of everything, and they have the call-ins, different perspectives, and then you have 105 or 10, what is this, 102, 102.5, where it plays mostly just hip hop. And so, I mean, you have to look at where the vibration is for the people, where they put anything on and they know what's catchy and they know what's stick, like that song with Roddy Ricch where I'm balling. I mean, his next song after that wasn't as great, but it's something about that song that catches you, and it catches it. And what it just doesn't catch you, it catches the nation. Moray's song, what is it? Gosh, I haven't heard it in so long. But you look at Moray and the song that he got 60, 70 million views on it and got paid. That song, I mean, it's just, it's a catchiness of it. But you have to look at how it affects your vibration. As I say, when I get ready, what I listen to almost an hour to 2 hours of just high vibration, like either jazz or basically R&B. And that's how you raise your vibration. We getting strong winds here too. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of, we getting those gusts because we get to what's called side winds, which didn't even exist, but we get side winds. And then side winds be like minor tornadoes almost, because I've seen roofs ripped off with what they call side winds. So yeah, it's coming. It's like if like it's supposed to snow, but if it was snowing, we'd have damn near whiteouts because of the wind. Kanye not putting his new album on the streaming service. Don't know why. I didn't hear about that. What kind of hip hop, old or new? I mean, I listen to both. What did I just Wipe the Ground, Wipe the Ground. That's probably the newest one on my playlist. So I listen at both. My older phone, when my son broke his phone, my old, what was it, Note 9, had all my music on it because I was getting free Apple Music through my son. Now I have an iPhone. I can't transfer that because I'd have to pay, and it really ain't worth it to me. It's like it's so much more to play where just to buy a music streaming service. That's like what, $120 a year, which when I was my other phone, and now he's not using that one, but now my other son wants it because he don't have a phone. So all my music and my older music. I mean, I love Grandmaster Flash. You get those early mixes. I love that. That's the DJ at his finest. Is you get the old what is it, the Adventures of Grandmaster Flash? Put the needle on the record. Put the needle on the record, and he gives you the original dude, the dude that died of AIDS from Chic. He gives you boom, boom, boom. I mean that was now that when you look at Freak, was it Good Time? No, it was Freak, but it's like boom, 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 boom. That is that bass line went through the universe. That bass line. So was it Good Times? Good Times. Boom, boom. That bass line went through the universe because it was like so much music was based on that bass line. And like even Queen, we will rock you. That dude from Queen, that bassist sat in on when they made that universal beat, maybe Good Times or Freak Out, I forget. But that beat, I think it's Good Times. But that beat, that bass line, that dude was there from Queens. So when you hear the same Queen bass line, but rock, skate, doom, doom, roll, bounce, it's the same. And that was such a universal bass line for understanding music of that time. It was like so much music sprouted out of what he played. The doom, boom, 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 boom. And I mean, I still listen to it today, and it is just as effective today as it even was then. I mean, remember, there were parts of Sugar Hill Gang where the other side was just music. It was like a disc where you got the Sugar Hill Gang extended version, but on the other side, it was just the music. It was like almost made for where they can mix. There was one version that just had, it was instrumental. So one time had the Sugar Hill Gang, but the other side had just their instrumental. And then you could get their album, of course. And I don't know if people remember that. And so it was just the Good Times, really. But it was a lovely way to blend back and forth, mix back and forth. And Grandmaster Flash was the first one that really caught on to that beat. And even though Good Time or Sugar Hill Gang, Sylvia Wright took that beat, she saw the potential in it. And that, you look at how rap sprang up from that. Because again, King Tim III didn't grow like the Sugar Hill Gang song grew. Chic. Yeah, Good Times. Bernard Edwards. Yeah, created the bass line. Yeah, Bernard Edwards. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. Yep. That's why I'm a bassist today, to be able to have that effect. Yeah, that went through everybody. But it's like such. And I mean, Good Times was a monster song. So, when I go to like August, really the end of July was Good Times run. End of July of 79 going into August. So when I first went into college, Good Times was still a beat. And then King Tim III comes out. So King Tim III came out probably late August. And then there goes Sugar Hill Gang coming like September. And then we've got, Not Just Knee Deep came out. And then you've got Trouble Funk with Drop the Bomb. I mean, to me, I know Dwayne B says there was no best time of music. I think 79 had the greatest music expansion ever. Because again, you got to look at the new wave. New wave came in that summer. We went from disco to new wave. But the new wave beats, you got Rock Lobster. It was a rock lobster. And then here in my car, I am safe as can be. I can lock all my doors and then whip it good, dude. I mean, that all came at one time. And then, like I'll say, Drop the Bomb. People may not understand the DC go-go music, but when Drop the Bomb came out, following all these monster hits, it competed and was there. Now, at least on the East Coast. But shit, I saw Trouble Funk live, Rare Essence. I saw, but he like, so we jamming to this shit, and then they come in concert. And we're like, turn on the spotlight, y'all, and put me on the display. Oh, that shit was a monster hit. That shit was a monster hit. Far as but it was hard. And then we had Basketball. We had the Curtis Blow Christmas song. I mean, 79 going into 80. I mean, 79 the whole year was just monster. And in September of 79, I want to say we had One Nation Under a Groove. September, Earth, Wind, and Fire. So 79 was a historical time in music in so many different ways. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if you can see this, really, that tree. Yeah, it'd be up there. I'm kind of watching that one. That one ain't really doing a lot. These ones in front of me is catching it. But the one behind me, you can see it a little bit. I couldn't really get a good angle because I'm parked sideways. I really couldn't get a good angle to show. And I got a piece, so I ain't gonna go too long. Great point. I wasn't alive back then, but you can hear music changing to what the 80s became and kept the funk in the 70s. Yeah. And as Dwayne B was saying, what you have to understand is really the building of rap off of especially George Clinton and James Brown. James Brown, the funky drummer, you got two drummers playing the same stuff. Like the Anna Marie song, there's just one thing I got to tell you. She using the funky drummer. I mean, James had two drummers playing with each other. I mean, you look at his live performances, and then you look at like when Bootsy and Catfish Collins joined James Brown, you hearing Bootsy keeping the bottom and Catfish on the lead, and James had the two drummers. I mean, he had such a what don't exist now. What you see in James Brown is you don't have band leaders hardly anymore. We don't have band leaders. Just don't have it. And James Brown was probably the purest idea of a band leader. The last popular one would be George Clinton, because George Clinton was a band leader as well. But you don't have that anymore. That don't really exist. Band leaders, Count Basie. What's the one that's in Blazing Saddles? Yeah, that's Count Basie, Duke Ellington. That goes back to there where dudes could lead a band. Don't have that. That disappeared. Rap, you don't need that. You don't need that in rap. Yeah, Bootsy Collins, rather be with you. I'd rather be with you until I'm through. Oh, yes, I do. I'd rather be with you until that day we'll find a way. I just love the way you act in the morning sun. If I can't have you to myself, then life's no fun. That is the music. And what's a telephone bill? Where we at? Okay. A prime example of go-go music hip hop is Doing the Butt by EU and It's Your Thing by Salt and Pepper. I heard other EU stuff, and that's my hesitation. I heard other EU stuff, and it's not as pop as Doing the Butt. Doing the Butt is more pop because you really don't have, them hitting them congos, them hitting them drums. I mean, that's go-go. And they Doing the Butt really kind of, it was in school days, but it really not the deep go-go. It kind of switched more to pop. Yeah, in a sense, you see a few of the riffs, but as pure go-go riffs, not really pure go-go riffs like some of the other ones. But I see It's Your Thing, maybe a little. Yeah, maybe they use a little bit of it. What is the song Kanye used when he puts the the basses you use over your head, those kind of the horns. I can't think of what that one's called, where you wear it's over your head. He uses it a bit, Walk with Jesus or whatever. He kind of uses those horns a little bit of the aspect of go-go. But I feel where you're coming from. I do feel where you're coming from. Hey, Divine Networking. Hey, being a millennial, best music I've ever heard come out of the 70s. People my age call it old music, but like you said, they can't vibe with the high vibe music. Absolutely. They got rid of that music on purpose because you can't have music. You know, George Clinton says music can remove, music can move and remove. You know, music can move and remove. That's it. You know, there's music like when you want to lift weights and shit, you know, you have a little more upbeat. But there's music that can take stress off you, ground you. Yep. Oh yeah. Go go, hey Lobo. Go go is and everybody, you know, Go go is or Lobo is a content creator. Check out his work. Subscribe to him for sure. Jesus walks. Yeah, that them horns. Oh, oh, them, he uses them horn. I'll tell you even, but more important, on the Jesus walks when they do the Dave Chappelle live, when they did the block party, they like if you remember that version of it, when they're in the block party and they got them big horns up there and they playing that Jesus walks and they them big horns and it's live. Yeah. I didn't realize how big it was till I went to a club in DC. It was straight up nightclub vibe or with a live band. Yeah, like what's his name? Chuck Brown. You know, like I first heard Chuck Brown in '78. My cousin gave me a tape and she was playing me Chuck Brown. You know, that's Mr. Go-Go. And then I got to like I've been going to DC since I was a little boy because you know the family comes from that area, but we have family in that area. And so my cousin, like as I got of age, I would hang with my cousin and going to A&T. That was just a bus ride up the coast to go to DC. And so, you know, 18, 19, when I would go to DC, my cousin would come get me and we had nothing but go-go parties. What is cabarets? You know, I talk about how we used to give cabarets in Detroit. That's where somebody rents a hall, you know, you charge, but it's like you got food, you selling food, you're selling liquor too, but people could bring their liquor. That's kind of what's more encouraged is people bring their liquor, and then you get away from the liquor license. And so that we would go to cabarets in DC and it'd be big bands, you know, be a couple big bands, but that's how I got into it, you know, at a young age and just loved it ever since then. So that's Chuck Brown is still on my playlist because Chuck Brown is on YouTube a lot. Will Smith, Summertime. Yeah, Summertime a little bit. Yeah. It's absolutely. Yeah, that's George Clinton. That's where I get the Chocolate Mountain show. George Clinton says, doing it on the Chocolate Mountain. And that's where I get, you know, the idea of the Chocolate Mountain show comes from that, you know. At clubs just get a different vibe in a good way. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, like down here, you imagine what I've got to, but we got a little place over here where they do oldies and I go there sometimes just to hear some live music because it's just a different feel to it. You know, it's a different feel to it. So compared to like going to a rap concert where, you know, it's a DJ, and I ain't saying the DJs ain't got their place, but it's just like example of when I saw the System and who I know we done shows and talked about who that guy is, but there was still guitars. Now there was no bass player. There was no bass player. No, there was a bass player, but there was no drums. There was no drums when the dude from the System, you know, you are my system. That dude was doing the drums and he was doing, you know, all the other instrumentals. Now that was cool. That was cool because he was actually playing a keyboard with all them computers. He is just chopping on that keyboard with all them computers around. So he is still playing like a piano. And I love piano. I mean, Horace Silver, A Song for My Father, that's one of my favorite songs. Bob James, it was like I couldn't go see Bob James a couple of weeks ago because they, you know, the vax mandates and shit. They had, you know, the club. Oh, here comes the snow. The club make you have to have a vax mandate to fucking go in. So I didn't get to see Bob James, which I would have went down there because Club Dakota is one of my favorite places here. It's an older crowd. You can eat in there and shit. But Bob James was here. And Bob James Heads. Like, I hope I can find that shit on vinyl. I want to get Bob James on vinyl. Heads, don't, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. And he has the shingles going, you know, the little chimes going, that shit. Now, I've been trying to blend that, or make it repeat on the phone and just isolate on that little part. That's why I want the record. I wouldn't wreck the record. Yeah, Common even used his live recording for Michelle show on his album because it was so good. Yeah. Bob James is one of the 3 most sampled artists. People forget Bob James did Marvin Gaye. Was it I Want You? No. Dance with me. Come on, dance, pretty baby. Yeah, Bob James did that with DeBarge. With L. DeBarge. They did a version of Dance with Me with Bob James producing it, or Bob James at least in it. Yeah. Real, because they were called a group at one time. I forget what that was under. But yeah, I love some Bob James. Man, let me pull over here. Let me pull over here by my garage. See if we can catch this. See if y'all can catch this outside. See the snow blowing. Maybe not. You can see out my window. This shit blowing like a motherfucker. But yeah, I love Bob James. Bernie Worrell, shit. Well, Bernie Worrell, how he changed music. Bernie was the first person. Like if you listen to Aqua Boogie, Psycho, Alpha, Disco, Beta, Fire, Aqua Doo Doo. But what Bernie Worrell did on that song, he removed a bass player. Now, good or bad, he removed a bass player. That is the first song that it was like dun 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 dun. That is all keyboard. Matter of fact, most of Aqua Boogie is Bernie Worrell. I mean, it is Aqua Boogie, and Bernie Worrell is probably one of the greatest, other than Stevie Wonder and The Key of Life, but some of those songs. But Bernie Worrell, that's a masterpiece. Aqua Boogie is a masterpiece. It is the peak of his artist. Aqua Boogie. He's playing practically every instrument, but without a bass. And he set the tone, get rid of the bass player, play it on the keyboard. Get rid of the bass. And so that was the first song that really did that. But that is his brilliance. Aqua Boogie is a brilliant song in so many ways, especially the extended version. And then you get into Not Just Knee Deep. But George Clinton again as a band leader, but Bernie Worrell is and I got to see him 3 or 4 times. I saw him drop the mothership in Saginaw, Michigan. Then when they did the shit in Kalamazoo, he just came out of a limo. But I got to see Bernie. I got to see him in Greensboro too. I told the story where Sly Stone was with him. He comes out, then he goes back and sits down. So I saw Sly Stone. I was this close to Roger Troutman in his goddamn jockey strap. They brought Roger Troutman through the crowd, and he's in the jock. And I was like, I had an aisle seat and shit. We was up close, and he came right by me, butt cheeks and all. Using old school beats. Well, that's the Moog. That's his guitar. Flashlight, yeah, Flashlight. Only instruments he didn't play is guitar and drums. It's all him. Yeah. Because guitar would have been, by that point, the other dude was gone, and it was Kid Funkadelic, Michael Hampton. I like both versions of Maggot Brain. I mean, you're talking about Maggot Brain is one of the top guitar, which is really kind of phasing how Jimi Hendrix would record the guitar going forward, then he would play the guitar going back. When you hear that, that's what that is. It's like he's playing it forward and he kind of plays it backwards. But yeah, Bernie on Flashlight is a motherfucker. It is a monster song, a monster from an artistic point of view. And you listen to that song and you're hearing everything he's pushing out. It is monster, Jay. Yeah, thanks for adding that. Oh, Roger Troutman. Well, Roger Troutman really was like the one who I think invented that shit where, they used to have to put it in their mouth, but that voice box kind of thing was the first one I knew was Herbie Hancock. Herbie Hancock came out with that. Let me see. Punkin and Jimmy they were probably seniors. So that was probably 77, 78. When you hear Herbie Hancock coming out with that voice box thing. And then, of course, the one that made it famous was Roger. More bounce to the ounce. More bounce to the ounce. That was Roger's first hit. But remember, Roger was touring at the time. Roger played with the funk people because Roger, Roger, Bootsy, all them is from the Dayton area, Ohio. Bootsy, Roger, and even Catfish, they come from that area of Ohio that produced all those great bands, Slade, Sun. They come from, I think Roger, because they used to have a limousine service. They're from Dayton, I'm pretty sure. They're from Dayton, Ohio. I think Bootsy is from Cincinnati or Dayton as well. But yeah, just part of the music history. Well, guys, it's a half hour. I'm gonna have to cut this short. Sorry I came on so late. It's Friday, so I definitely will be doing the Chocolate Mountain Show at midnight Central Time. I'm on Central Time. Look at that. Had the car shaking. See that shit? The car did like this. That shit blew so hard. That's why I got to go take this, put my gloves on to take this damn, but this heated seat, my back needed it so much. But, I was doing a little counseling earlier, and we get to love, and we love so much that the disappointments come in, and it just crushes us, because you think you're working for something. Roger's one of those dudes who could play every instrument. You got to add Prince, too. Yeah, I'm going to definitely come on tonight. So, you're on the West Coast. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll be on at midnight Central Time. Midnight Central Time with the Chocolate Mountain Show, giving some more high vibrations. So till we meet again, say less.